Before I begin this video, I gotta say thank you to each and every last one of y'all for the birthday wishes. I definitely had fun and enjoyed myself, but today we're definitely getting back to more fun because MSNBS is in total panic mode. Really, the left is in total panic mode for obvious reasons, and the Hodge twins posed this question under this video. What's the punishment for treason again?
Irritable interpretation of what Bill Barr is saying here, right, is something like, the president of the United States on a regular basis would blow off steam. I think that was his phrase, right? Yeah, he would get mad. Right. And he would say things around the table like, let's imagine saying something like, not, I want to have this leaker found and executed. But let's imagine he's just blowing off steam. He's saying, you know, if we could find that leaker, I'd like to take him out of the back of the White House on the South Lawn and have him shot. And let's say he wasn't being serious. Let's just say he was blowing off steam, right? As a matter of presidential temperament, is that the guy you want to have behind as the commander-in-chief, sitting in the Oval Office, a guy who, when he's frustrated, when he's blowing off steam, again, to use Barr's formulation, is someone whose way in which he exercises his frustration is to casually talk about having people who work for him shot, executed in some way. Well, I don't know if that's by hanging or by a guillotine or by the firing squad. I think it speaks to a temperament that is the kind of temperament that leads you to a president of the United States who, when your vice president is on Capitol Hill in the middle of a riot that you have incited, and the people at that riot are talking about lynching the vice president.
What are we talking about?
Your temperament, that person, that president is the kind of person who says, I'm not going to do anything to call off the mob that I incited. I'm just going to sit up here and let it play out. And I'm going to say quietly, according to at least some of the reporting that we've seen in some Capitol Hill, some stuff from the January 6th committee, was said, you know, maybe our supporters have it right here. Maybe Mike Pence deserves this. Maybe he deserves to be killed, to be strung up on the Capitol grounds. I think, you know, whether you don't have to get all the way to Donald Trump was ordering the execution of staffers to think that this is a very dangerous temperament and a very dangerous mindset to have, and one that shows an enormous lack of respect for the office, for the seriousness of the position, and as someone who is not in control of himself in a way that you would want a president to be.
What the hell was I just listening to? Y'all don't realize how much propaganda these people put out on a regular basis. They're literally sitting here talking about a what if scenario, or, you know, what they think he would be doing on a regular basis. Not something that he actually did, but what they think he's gonna do. At this point, they have nothing to throw at this man outside of trying to demean his character and use what if spinoffs to sort of incite the American people into believing that Trump is this guy who's just dislikes America so strongly. And then he went as far as to try to make him the white supremacist, the racist, bigoted person by saying, I don't know if he was talking about executing them by lynching or such and such. Like, dog, bro, this is just red. Like, he ain't say none of this, but people are going to listen to this clip and go, yeah, you know what? Yeah. And then when we have conversations about Donald Trump and why they don't like Trump, they're going to say something like, because he be talking about, you know, unaliving people on his lawn just when he upset. It's like, really? What? How do you know that? Because that's the temperament that he has. So you haven't heard or seen him do it. What? By the way, it's a fly in my room. If y'all see me swinging out of nowhere, I ain't crazy. As soon as I said that, it landed right in front of my face. But and I didn't catch it, y'all. We still beefing. I got beef with a fly. I think it got a beer. Anyhow, you have them in panic mode so much. You know, the TDS, the TDI too. You know, you can't forget the Trump derangement infections going around. They're now trying to cover up for your boy Biden. They out here like, look, man, they misleading, the right is misleading the world, saying that, you know, Joe Biden is out here losing his mind and becoming, you know, senile and, you know, out here demented. They trying to cover it all up. and say that there's editors and all this other good stuff. But let's go and let's hear them out real quick. Let's hear them out.
You've probably heard of deep fakes, but just last week, as President Biden was at the G7 summit in Italy, cheap fake clips went viral on social media and were picked up by some news outlets. Take a look at this clip, for example. It shows Biden and other world leaders watching a skydiving demonstration before the president is seen walking away and looking in another direction. Outlets claimed that he was sort of just aimlessly wandering away. The clip amassed millions of views within just a few hours, when actually if you widen out, you can see that he was talking to one of the—
Why you ain't widening it out even more, huh? Why you say if you can widen out? Like, you ain't even got the widening out clip talking about if you can widen.
members of the military that was participating in that demonstration. So how prevalent are cheap fakes, and how big of a problem will they be in this election? Well, let's take a look with executive editor of CBS News Confirmed, Rona Tarrant, who joins us now from Studio 57 to explain. Hi, Rona. It's great to see you.
Hi.
So tell us how long cheap fakes have been around. I'm assuming they've been around since the beginning of the media, because anybody can take an image and manipulate it to make it look like it suggests something that didn't happen.
That's exactly it. It really is a case of old techniques meets new technology. So, as you said, cheap fake videos, and that's videos that are edited in a really simple way. Those have been around as long as political videos have existed. So there's a few ways, for example, that people might be familiar with. One is there might be a long video and you might take a very short clip and you take out key context.
Oh, yeah. You talking about like what y'all do to Trump all the time? Like all the time? Like, bruh, since 2016, down.
Mm-hmm. Another is maybe you slow something down and it makes it sound like someone is slurring their words. Or another is you might splice several pieces together and it makes it sound like someone said something that they didn't. What's different in this election and the last two elections, in the presidential elections, is number one, everyone has access to mobile phones where they can edit. And number two, most people have social media accounts where they can publish this stuff. So it's worth saying these are not anything new. You know, when Trump was president, these targeted him as well. But what we are seeing in the last few weeks is really the steady stream of videos that are targeting President Biden, and in particular, taking aim at his age.
Right, and they are being picked up by news outlets that know they're fake.
Look, age ain't nothing but a number as it pertains to politics, right? You know, and it don't matter if you get old, and you know, it just matters if you're there. That's all we're saying, bro. Like, how do you not get this? Like, how?
And or know that they are misleading, but post them anyway. Rona, is there any way to measure the impact that these videos could have on the 2024 election in comparison to other forms of misinformation?
You know, that's a really great question. I think, you know, in terms of what our team has been tracking, we have seen these so-called cheap fake videos. They are targeting Biden and they are targeting Trump. However, we have seen, particularly in the last few months, the videos targeting—
Oh, y'all want to say y'all being unbiased by saying Trump's name right there. I see what you did.
Biden are getting a lot more traction online, and in particular, the ones that target Biden's age. So, for example, like you had said, claiming that he is wandering off and really was having a conversation with somebody. These videos are effective because they're called cheap fakes for a reason. They are quick. They're easy to publish, and oftentimes they have big impact on people who are just scrolling through their phones. They watch it for 5 seconds and they move on. Also, what's interesting about this is we've heard a lot about the fear of deepfakes in this election, and we've seen that deepfakes haven't really shown up in the way that maybe people were worried about them showing up. But these videos that are edited in a really basic way with technology that's been around for a long time are effective to the extent that the White House is addressing them.
Deepfakes, as opposed to cheap fakes, are, you know, videos or audio that has been completely created by AI. So think the robocall that was sent around to New Hampshire voters a few months ago that sounded just like Joe Biden telling them not to vote, but it was a total fake. So
I ain't see that video.
How can voters best discern between videos that are real?
See, that's crazy. They describing the video that ain't viral, that I don't know nothing about. Maybe y'all do, but You just, I don't even want to watch no more of this. We done. Now, first and foremost, let me go ahead and say that I do know that deep fake videos exist. I know with the rise of AI these days that you can manipulate a clip and do a lot more with it than you were able to do previously. Hell, you can change somebody's whole face these days, for real. Man, you can change somebody's whole body. I don't know if y'all familiar with a rapper named Lil Yachty, but he has this iconic entrance clip coming out to a concert that he was doing, and they even got a clip of Donald Trump coming out. I wish I could find it to play, but anyhow, we understand that there are deep fakes and cheap fakes, but y'all been playing this cheap fake game forever. That's why I was a little startled. Oh, they just take clips and they can take out context and remove all context. I'm sitting back like, what? For real? Y'all, you just now finding this out? For real? Oh, that's baffling. That's surprising. That's shocking that you shocked. I'm shocked. Y'all been doing this forever. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm seeing them doing is now trying to clean up for Biden right now. That's all they doing, is trying to clean up for Biden. Trying to say that, you know, he's not what we seeing him become. And I think a lot is going to be said about the debate that's happening at the end of this month, and I can't wait. I need to know. Hey, yo, Trumpsters, let me know when he pulling up. I'm gonna be outside. I want to have a camera going. I want to ask people, you know, when did they jump off the plantation and when did they become a Trump supporter? Like, I just want to keep it real basic. You know, we're gonna start off real slow outside. I ain't Caitlyn. This ain't, you know what I'm saying, you know, Shane out here. I ain't finna be out here just going crazy with the missile. Yeah.
You know how to tell the Democrats are in panic mode? They're using words like pardon. They think that Joe Biden should pardon Donald Trump. You have a Democrat rep out of Minnesota begging Governor Hochul to pardon Donald Trump for the betterment of the country. It's not for the betterment of the country. It's to salvage the Democrat Party, because in less than 48 hours since this verdict, you've realized how big of a misstep you just had. See, you want to do it ahead of the appeals process because you know he's going to win the appeal, and it's going to show how weaponized our DOJ has become and how tainted New York has become. So much so that now it's bled into our judicial systems that people can no longer be objective. Governor Hochul told us that if you're not a Democrat, you're not welcome in New York. AOC told us every borough is blue, and it's bled into your judicial system to where people can't even get a fair trial. And you thought this was going to have a different effect, and you realized quickly that Donald Trump raised $35 million overnight, and that's even after it crashed. His popularity went up. His polling numbers went up. You realize that the people who were cheering that verdict were people who hated Donald Trump anyways. But you didn't realize until 48 hours later that you've galvanized the country to realize everything you accused Donald Trump that he was going to do, you've actually done. And you've been doing it for 8 years with fake trials and dossiers and setting precedent after precedent after precedent. And this case put the nail in the coffin for the entire world to see. And now you're in panic mode. It's bad enough that your candidate is going to lose to a 34-time convicted felon. But now you're worried about your party.
He laid that out so perfect. I don't know what else to say to add to that. I genuinely don't. I just kind of just going to reinforce what he said. Yes, they're not begging, or this person is not begging for Trump to be pardoned by the Democrats just because he want to be a good human being. They are doing everything they can to try to convince us that they aren't who they are. Man, shout out to this guy right here. They got the band Beard 04 is his name. Yeah, go check him out, because dog, you laid that out.